Hey, welcome into the program. State Hoops is just around the corner, so we're talking some basketball today. My guest, I'm very excited to have. He plays football at La Cueva, plays his basketball at ABC Prep, and he's committed to New Mexico State. Dylan Chavez is my guest.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, welcome. I guess we have to start with the elephant in the room. What the hell's going on in New Mexico State?
Yeah, it's a mess right down there right now, but they're going to figure it out, and I have faith in the athletic director and just the culture down there. They're going to be rolling next season, and stuff happened, but I'm still sticking with them right now.
So yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question. Obviously, you're committed there, right? So
Right.
what does that do to that?
Me and my family, we're still kind of waiting to make like a final decision. Obviously, a lot of factors in play with like other college opportunities and stuff, but my heart's still in New Mexico State. I love Las Cruces. The fans are great. I have faith in that culture down there, and I'm just, we're still with them right now, but we're just still waiting to make that final decision.
Right. It's got to be weird because, you go through all that process of
Right.
picking a school. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, no, certainly that's got to be strange. Hopefully it all sorts itself out. All right, let's pivot a little bit since State is right around the corner.
Right.
And you don't have a dog in the fight, right? Because
Right,
you
no.
don't play for La Cueva basketball. So, all right, so give me your Final Four. If you had to pick a Final Four, who do you like?
Obviously I'm a student at La Cueva, and I'm going to root for them, so I'm going to say La Cueva. I like the Browns, some of my teammates play for Sandia, Dalen Moyer,
Right.
longtime teammates, so I'm going to put them in there. I'm going to say Volcano, and I think Cleveland has a chance too, so
Okay, all
those are
right.
my four right there.
So, popular choices.
Yeah.
Plus La Cueva. That's
Yeah.
kind of that'll be a long shot this year, huh?
Yep.
So let's start there. When you decided to play for ABC Prep, right? You're a student at La Cueva.
Right.
That had to be a pretty difficult decision because my memory serves me correctly at the time, they're a pretty stacked team, right? With Exodus
Yeah.
Ayers, Jacobson. I mean, you take that team that year,
Right.
you add you to that roster, they're
Yeah.
probably a state championship favorite, right?
Right.
So what went into that decision?
I think just like me wanting to, like having bigger aspirations and goals, I think me wanting to play college basketball and being able to play at the next level, I think playing at ABC Prep is the best decision for me to do that with, just getting more college opportunities, getting more, getting prepared for that college lifestyle. And I think Brandon Mason and our whole staff down there does a great job, giving us like that college look
Right.
that like most high schools can't do.
Well, it's about exposure, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, for those that don't know, I mean, you're probably racking up some Southwest Airlines miles, right? Because you guys have been doing some
Yeah.
traveling. So just take us through your season and everywhere you've been.
Yeah, so, we've been a lot, as you know. We've been to Phoenix at least 5 times. We were in Atlanta, Oakland. We just got back from Vegas. We're going to Vegas again. We went to Dallas. We actually just had a tournament here that was a huge success. We went to Cali twice, Colorado. We have a very traveling schedule, which is nice.
And not only the exposure, obviously, at those places, but you're getting to play some dudes, right? I
Right.
mean, like you,
Yeah.
I know you guys played prolific prep. Tell our audience about that team and some of the guys on that roster. Number one prep team in the country, right?
Yeah, so they are the number 1 prep team in the country. I had a great game against them. We came up short, but like their starting point guard, he's committed to Auburn. Basically, their whole starting 5's going high major. And, just looking in the stands before the game, you had Texas, Creighton, Arizona State, just big-time programs that New Mexico kids rarely get to see.
Right.
And so it's just like a great opportunity, like, playing against those top dudes.
And it's got to be beneficial for you. Well, I should put it this way: it's got to be beneficial for you, a guy like Marcus, a kid like Judah, because that's one thing. I went to your event right this weekend that was here, and the number one thing that stuck out to me is our 3 guards can hang with anybody.
Right.
The problem is the other teams have a guy that's 7'1" and 7 foot and 6'11".
Yeah.
Right. But when it comes to guard play,
Yeah.
that's the thing that stood out.
Right.
Every team you guys were playing, you guys were holding your own at that guard position. So from a competitive standpoint, that part's got to be pretty cool for the 3 of you guys because you're playing with the best guards in the country.
Right. I think me, Judah, and Marcus, every grind session game we played in, we were double digits, holding our defenders under double digits. We're able to compete, but like you said, it's just hard when they have those 7-foot guys, sometimes even multiple of them.
Right.
And me being 6'6", I'm one of our tallest guys, if not our tallest guy on the floor sometimes. So I think that's like the biggest if factor with our team. But like you said, me, Judah, and Marcus, even Harrison, Gideon, like we all hold our own against the guards.
Yeah, I mean, and the level of competition, like I was on the Sunday game, I was talking to Marcus a little bit, and there's a 7-footer or a 6'10" guy shooting. And I asked, I'm like, so where what's his story, right? And Marcus tells me that's an 8th grader. I said, bullshit, that's not an 8th grader.
Yeah.
I've never seen an 8th grader look like that. But he was, right?
Right.
So that's kind of the level that you guys are playing against.
Right. Yeah, it's just great, a lot of kids don't get to experience it. My dad did a good job with us, too, as we were young. We always played against the best teams and the best competition. So us New Mexico Heat kids were kind of already used to it, but like I said, it's just another level on top of that.
And now you guys are going to have another opportunity in town, right? Some of those teams are coming in March, right?
Right.
Prolific coming in March?
Prolific, Southern Academy, they're all coming in March.
Okay, so that'll be pretty exciting. And also, how has it been as a player to kind of, obviously Brandon started this endeavor, and so you guys are kind of in on the ground floor, right? Like you built this, right?
Yeah.
So kind of that first little group.
Sure.
How cool has that been?
It's cool. I was part of the first ever prep team last year, and just being able to see like the growth and the changes from last year to this year as players, as a coaching staff, as a program, it's just been cool to be a part of it. Just give the young guys hope, who are on our JV team looking up to us. It's cool just to be able to build the program that way when they're here. It's all the way like at that top level like we want it to be.
Now, I've also seen you at some high school games.
Right.
So I know you a little bit. There's got to be part of you when you see 1,000 people at a high school game, like that Sandia game with West Mesa at La Cueva. That was a vibe, right? So you got to miss that a little bit, though, right?
Yeah, I do miss it. I think every kid wants to play in front of their friends, in front of their school. That's just a sacrifice you got to make if you want to play at the level I want to play at. And I always told myself too, I might miss out on that experience in high school, but I'll be able to experience that in college. And it kind of helped me too, whether it's some other guys was kind of harder. I got to play football with all my best friends, so I still got to experience that kind of high school experience, high school game night, like Friday night. So, it's hard for me knowing I can make an impact and definitely help my school win, but
what about this year, man? When the guys are struggling,
yeah,
like that team is underachieving this year. That's gotta hurt you a little bit, right? Knowing that you're right there on campus.
Yeah, it hurts, because the guys are good on the team. They got a lot of super talented guys. I hope they can figure it out the rest of the season. Wish them luck going into the state. I know Coach Earl is a great coach. I spoke to him multiple times. It's unfortunate I couldn't get to play with them this year, but I know they'll figure it out before state.
All right. We're going to take our first break here with Dylan, but when we get back, it hasn't been all roses, right? Like, not everyone has embraced this ABC culture in town.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that when we get back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of Proview Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
All right, we're back with Dylan Chavez. We were talking about ABC Prep before we went to commercial break, and there has been, I guess, a little bit of backlash, right? Because there's some high school kids that left their school and are playing at ABC, and so I know that kind of made the news, a little while ago. So there was a podcast. We're not going to mention the name of the podcast because we don't want their views to go up. So, but yeah. I mean, it was a little. I mean, I personally, when I watched it, I was very turned off by it because you have a grown man here. He took kind of a personal run at you.
Yeah.
Like that I didn't think was entirely appropriate. So, he kind of, basically his thing was like, well, I've never seen Dylan play. He's always in sweats, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. We should mention, like, this is the same guy that didn't know how to pronounce your name for 2 freaking years.
Right.
So that kind of shows you, kind of what his
Yeah.
speed. But, I mean, as a kid, and you see a grown man
Yeah.
take a run at you like that personally, like, what were your thoughts?
I think my father, sent it to me, and I was just watching. I'm like, I was just in shock. 'Cause, obviously I've dealt with hate, people trying to hate, but I've never really dealt with someone like online publicly, trying to bash me or the team I play for. So
I didn't think it really was the team. I mean, if someone wants to have a problem with ABC Prep, that's their prerogative, right?
Right.
Like, I get it. Like, I mean, like, I'm a big high school guy, right? I call high
Right.
school games. Like, that's my lane, right?
Right.
But I'm also a big believer in, like, it takes a village, right? And so whatever we need to do to support kids in this community, we do that. And Brandon's doing that in a different way, and I'm all for that.
Right.
So, but I didn't think he took a run as much at the team as he did you personally. That's what I had an
Right.
issue with. And,
Yeah.
like, so you get that, New Mexico gets a bad rap sometimes for doing that. Well, it's got proven again, right? Like,
Right.
So how did you respond to that when you saw it? I mean,
I didn't really take it too personal. I'm not going to come back here and say bad things about him because, that's just not how I am. He's a grown man, if he wants to, bash me and talk bad, he's the one who has to live with that. That's the same guy who's, delivering tile to the ABC gym. So, a lot of people just don't see like all the hard work and the stuff I put in. Me and my trainer, we're
Right.
at it every day. I made a sacrifice moving to Phoenix. A lot of people just see, the offers, the success I'm having. They don't really see like all the struggles,
well,
like,
don't take it too bad because in that same podcast he also said Proview Networks was dead. And so,
Yeah.
and we did 20 games last week combined, college and high school. So,
Right.
not a lot of facts in anything
Yeah.
he was saying, right?
Yeah.
What kind of struck me though was like, oh yeah, you can't ever watch Dylan play. He's always in sweats. Like, well, I've seen you play.
Yeah,
I've
right.
seen it on stream.
right.
I've seen it in person this past weekend. I didn't see him make an appearance that day.
Right.
So if he really wanted to see you play in person, there was a perfect opportunity. Like, it's not like we can't find you playing, right?
Right.
Like, it's out there.
Right. All our games are live streamed on Tanager. I think we have over 20 games online at really high level competition. Like you said, you watched me play live this weekend. He had a perfect opportunity to come watch what we're all about and, compete at some high level teams. I guess that's how it is. If he wants to take some shots at me, kind of diss me, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, work hard. Obviously he's talking about me for a reason. So
I just the part I found comical was, whether it be New Mexico State or any of the other schools, they're not going to offer a kid that they've never seen play basketball, right?
yeah.
So it's obviously there was a lot of not truth to a lot of
Yeah.
what he was saying, and I wanted to give you a chance to respond to that. It was pretty comical to me. So let's talk about kind of, again, what Brandon's doing a good job with you guys over there, and the shots that he took at ABC, right? Like, have you seen a lot of that?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people who have their opinions on ABC, and like we say every time, just come see what we're about. We have film session every day. We're in the weight room every day. We're on the court every day. We're stretching. We have yoga teachers. We have a weight trainer. A lot of these schools, like, they like to, and a lot of people who have opinions, they like to judge us, but they've never seen us, in action, and they don't see what we're about. I think we have 6 guys with college opportunities right now. I mean, that's unheard of in the state of New Mexico and what Brandon's doing for us. I can't name a high school with 6 Division II, Division III, Division I players. So I think what Brandon's doing is great, and I think the people who do have opinions and hey, just come check out a practice. We have open doors. Just come see what we're about.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to what I was talking about. It takes a village, right? And we should support no matter what. It's like, it's the same thing, at Proview Networks. Like, some people probably think this show sucks. well, you don't have to watch it,
Right.
We got a lot of shows,
Right.
You watch another show instead, right? But I think to go out of your way, to go out of the way and kind of run down you, I thought was inappropriate, and so we'll close the book on that. All right. Let's talk about just the whole process of getting recruited, right? Because since there's probably a lot of athletes watching that want to know more about that process. So when did that process start for you? What are you doing? What did you do? Because there's a lot to it, right? That people don't know about.
Yeah. So I think I started really getting recruited in my freshman summer, and I'll tell you what, the recruiting process, and I'm really excited, kind of jump back into it, and with the whole New Mexico State thing. But it's a great experience. So they'll start off by kind of reaching out and texting you, and you get to build a friendship and trust with these coaches, and then sometimes they get to invite you for a visit. I think that's the coolest part of the recruiting process, being able to go on those official visits, meet the team, meet the coaches, see what the city's about, get the culture.
But that's the feel-good part, right? That's not everyone's still in Chavez, right? So there's some legwork that goes into that too. You got to send out film, you got to send out emails, you got to send out feelers. Talk about that side of it. I don't think that part gets talked about enough. What can the athlete do, and what can parents do?
Right. I think the kids just expect coaches just to start texting
knocking down your door
randomly. Yeah, and that did not happen for me. So I probably, my goal is to DM at least 5, or during the recruiting process, DM 5 coaches a day, whether if that's on Twitter, that's their email. So I'd get a highlight tape together just of, some of my best clips, and throughout the season, I'd name my GPA, my transcripts, kind of talk about my game a little bit, and I would just be on top of it. Me and my dad, we'd be emailing coaches left and right. And the good and bad thing is some respond and some don't, but maybe 10 out of those coaches, maybe 2 might respond, but now you have 2 relationships that you're building with those coaches, So I did put a lot of effort into DMing and just reaching out to coaches. And I think that's probably the hardest part about the recruiting process is, a lot of coaches, they won't answer, but the ones that do, you have relationships now with.
Take another time out here. A couple more things to get to. I know you're working out a little bit with my favorite player of all time, Scott Bamforth, right?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that when we get back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
All right, back with Dylan Chavez. We have a mutual connection with Scott Bamforth, Knight legend.
Yep.
The greatest Del Norte Knight of all time, Scott Bamforth. And I saw you working out a little bit with him. So obviously I know him and Judah worked out a lot, 2 nights. And then you got to work out with Scotty a little bit. So talk about that.
It's great just being with someone from your hometown and gets how hard it is to, get out of here and just go somewhere. I think it's a great opportunity and great experience. He gives me great wisdom. He gave me great advice. And I think it's just cool being able to work out with someone you kind of look up to and you kind of watch on a daily basis.
And did you Does he have any film that he showed you? Like, do you realize how good he was?
Oh yeah, I watch his highlights all the time in
Right.
Spain and at Weber State.
Right.
And I actually have an offer to Weber State. So, he's kind of pushing me to go there. But
Hey, he played in the back. How often does he drop Damian Lillard's name? Because he played in the same backcourt
Yeah.
as Dame Lillard at Weber State.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, he tells me stories about how they used to race to get to the gym, who was first in the gym. And I think it's just like a cool experience, just playing with an NBA All-Star and just having a mentor that knows someone at that level and being able to share experiences and stories and just, learn from them.
So what does the off season look like for you when you're not in season mode? What does that look like to stay ready, to get ready, and to get better?
So off-season mode looks normally, I try to do 2 on-court workouts a day. It's normally 1 in the morning, 1 at night. I try to get in 1 lift a day because I'm trying to gain weight right now. So, so just being on the court as much as I can and being able to rest at the same time, I think it's a good balance,
All right, I want to talk about 5. I don't know if you've been watching the show, but we do a top 5
Yeah.
list. Top 5 things we don't know about Dylan Chavez. Number 5. So we'll work from 5 to 1. What's number 5?
Number 5, I love shoes. I'm a big sneakerhead. I have a good shoe collection that I
Okay.
have. Like to sport the kicks a lot.
All right, what's your budget on StockX? You spend a lot?
I say up to 400, but I have a job, so I kind of I do put a lot of money into the shoes. I'd like to have a good shoe collection.
I'm looking for a shoe right now. I can't find it on StockX, but I'll have to show you after the show. All right, number 4.
A lot of people don't know, but I have 2 sisters named Isabel and Michaela. Michaela actually plays high school basketball and soccer. She's a stud in soccer. UNM's looking at her right now. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
I'm a big outdoors person. I love to be outdoors, like during the summer, lakes. Just hiking. Just being outside. I like the outdoors.
Like what? Like there's regular outdoors, like going to the lake, and then
Right.
there's like redneck outdoors, like shooting stuff. Like what are you, like full outdoors? Like what kind of outdoors?
I'm like camping,
Okay.
hunting.
Oh, so you are a hunter? Okay. All
Yeah,
right,
I
okay.
like I like going to the lake. I don't like being inside.
Okay, all right.
I like being active. And
Okay. All right. Number 2.
number 2 is that I love to golf.
Golf, all right.
A lot of people don't know that. Some of my close friends do, but
Okay. Who's the best golfer at ABC Prep?
I'd say myself.
Harry's not bad, right?
Harry's not bad. Judah's not bad. I play with him a lot
Okay.
during the summer, but
Do you just hit the hell out of the ball because you're pretty tall?
yeah, I can drive it pretty
Okay,
far.
all right.
But a lot of people who know me, I golf a couple times a week during the summer for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we could go golf for some sneakers.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, put some sneakers on the line, right?
Yeah.
All right. Number 1. The number 1 thing we don't know about Dylan Chavez.
I just love to be with family. I'm a big family guy. Anytime I can to spend time with my sisters or my parents or my grandparents, I value that and just like to be around them.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Do they make the trip? Do they go to Phoenix and Utah and Vegas and all those?
So my dad always 100% makes the trip, so he's always there supporting me in my corner. My mom and my sisters try to watch the games online, but I already know I have their support back home, so.
Football, is that still going to
Yeah.
be a thing?
Yeah.
You're a pretty good kicker, actually, right? Like, how did that come about?
I played soccer when I was little,
Okay, all right.
and I played yaffle with all my friends, and I was always the kicker. And when I came to high school, we'd have a kicker, so I was like, I can kick pretty decently.
La Cueva's had some good kickers over the years too, right?
Yeah, they have. I liked football a lot. Just playing with my friends, being in that atmosphere was fun. I might play next year, I might not, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Still kicking? Like, is that the thing?
If I play, I'll kick.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. So that's the safest position, right? Probably
Yeah.
can't get hurt.
Yeah, I
kicking,
can't get
right?
hurt kicking.
Right. So, but you ever think about that when you're out there kicking? Like, man, one of these guys undercuts me. I'm done for basketball.
No, I was more worried about just putting it through the uprights,
Okay.
but during practice, it was just fun being with my friends and the guys, and I enjoyed playing football a lot.
Okay. What about so you played soccer as a kid? What else?
Yeah, I played baseball, soccer, football, and basketball.
So pretty much everything.
Yeah,
So when did the others kind of peel away?
I think in 8th grade, I really locked into basketball and knew that I wanted to play at a high level one day.
All right. So, all right. When you ABC guys go do other things, All right, you said you're the best golfer.
Yeah.
All right. What other things do you guys do away from the facility?
Like I said, we golf. Even Brandon golfs a little bit. My
Okay.
pops, it's pretty competitive. Some of us during the summers too, we play sand volleyball. We'll get a team together. Go
All right,
to Charlie's.
who's the best sand volleyball player at ABC Prep?
I'd say I am too.
Okay, all right.
So me, Judah, Harry, we like to play, just go have fun. Friday night. So
All right. Best gamer. Who's the best gamer at ABC Prep?
I'd say Harrison's the best gamer.
Okay. All right. What does he get down on?
He's good at 2K. We all used to play Fortnite, but we don't really play that no more. But Harry's definitely the best gamer.
Okay. All right. Who's got the nicest car at ABC Prep?
Nicest car?
Yeah.
I'd say myself.
Okay.
My car recently just got totaled.
That's
Some
not
guy
good.
hit me. Yeah, but
How do I get a parking spot like Brandon Mason's at ABC Prep? Because that parking
Yeah,
is
that's-
you know what over there, right?
Oh, yeah.
But like he's got a sign on the
Yeah.
freaking wall and everything. Can I get an honorary parking space at ABC Prep? Do you think?
yeah, I'm trying to get one too.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
have
on
that yet?
boat. I don't have that boat yet, but I'm working on it. But it's sometimes I'm going to practice. Our prep guys are normally the ones practicing, but I'm like, I can't even find a parking spot for myself. I'm end up parking like down the street. So
Yeah.
that's
All right.
definitely a
I know
hassle.
you guys are always at the facility when the younger dudes are playing, right?
Right.
So give me a couple of names
Okay.
of some younger dudes, maybe that are 8th graders now, that we really have to look out for on whether it be the high school scene or the prep scene. Like that Miller kid can really shoot it.
Yeah.
Right? Like give me a couple of names.
I'll give you a couple here. I would say Brandon Mason Jr.'s
Right.
definitely going to be.
Yeah, no, and like he's almost as tall as his dad already.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of myself. Cavo Miller, he's probably the best shooter, if not the best shooter in his grade. David Lunn is also another one. Evan Nanya is probably he is the definition of like a true point guard. So I'd say those 4 right there, are the next up and coming kids.
And you guys have a girls program starting pretty soon
Yeah,
too,
we
right?
do.
So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, yes. So we're just really expanding. The girls are going to be on the UA Circuit Rise. So just a lot of opportunities.
And I always see Bella in there shooting with you guys. How good is
Yeah.
Bella Hines? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Bella-
51 points last night?
Yeah, Bella is out of this world. It's just cool to see her at ABC Gym just hanging out. But man, she's
How many
phenomenal.
of you guys is she beating in 3-point contest? Like she's probably taking some of you guys to school, right?
She's probably taking, I'd say, half the team.
Right.
And
So she can hold her own, right?
she definitely can hold her own against us.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Continued success. Thanks for coming in. And March is an exciting time for you guys. I know I have a lot of good teams in here. Hopefully, we get some good local support.
Yeah.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you for watching, everyone, and good night.